So, as promised, we are looking at blood vessels. So, what is the role of blood vessels? Yes, it's to carry around oxygen and your exchange of oxygen and all of that, nutrients, and also carry out the nitrogenous waste and other waste. Now, what are the types of blood vessels? There are three main ones. Can you guess the name? This has to do with the first type has to do with art. This is a cap, and this person is ill, and this is your direct veins, right? I'm sure boys will know this. They keep talking about veins, right? So this should be easy. While this is to do with arteries, and this is to do with capillaries, and that's your vein. Okay, so those are your three set of blood vessels. Now we're looking at the structure and function of each of them. Artery, as you can see in pictures, we represent it in red in color. So what can be the function? What do you think is the function? And what should be the structure? Obviously, the function has to be something to do with oxygenated blood to carry it out. So where does oxygenated blood come from? Your heart pumping from the, yes, so that will be left ventricle. And the left ventricle, let me write it over here. So blood from left ventricle, is it not? And the left ventricle is pretty strong. So the push is large. And so for that reason, this structure has to be flexible. It has to be a lot flexible, right? You can reason it out and learn. Next structure is veins. So this is generally blue in color. And so this we are looking at, yes, deoxygenated blood carried out from the entire body towards the heart. So here it says less fluctuation because there's a slow movement, right? And remember, this has to move from the feet, right? So if a person, it has to move from here till there. So again, try to make sense out of it. It has to go to the heart. So what shows the structure? Since the fluctuation is less, right? So it is less flexible, but it needs additional thing as well. It has to go up against the gravity. Yes, it needs walls, is it not? If something gets pushed up slowly, it should not come back again. So it has walls too. Right, guys? Does it make sense? Think about it. Now, so we have oxygenated blood coming in. This is going out. So obviously the capillary has to do with what? Yes, it has to do with the exchange. Exchange of what? Oxygen and basically gases. Right? So the gases exchange has to take place, and that happens with your capillaries. And what should be the structure? So because of this, thus we have it to be thin for the easy movement of whatever it has to move. And the mechanism with which the exchange happens is nothing but your, yes, diffusion. Okay, yes. Now let's look at the notes. What are the blood vessels and what are their roles? So blood vessels are tubular structure that transport blood throughout the body, ensuring distribution of oxygen and nutrients to the tissue and removal of the waste. What are the main type of blood vessels? So you have artery, veins, and capillary. Structure of your artery is that it is thin elastic wall composed of 3 layers. The elastic tissue allows artery to expand and recoil when with each heartbeat, right? So it has to be elastic. Function is to carry deoxygenated blood away from the heart to the organs, withstand the high pressure generated by the heart pump. Next, veins. This thinner wall compared to artery. So also composed of 3 layers, but with less smooth muscles and elastic tissue. Again, it has to make sense. It is taking away less pressurized thing from the different part of the body to the heart. It contains valves though to prevent the backflow of blood. Again, this also should make sense. There's no strong force that is pushing it up, right? So the function is to carry deoxygenated blood, except for pulmonary veins, that is from the lungs. We'll discuss that. From organs and tissue back to the heart. Walls ensures that unidirectional blood flow, especially against the gravity in the limbs. Finally, we have capillary, extremely thin walls, only one cell thickness, right? Forms in intricate, complex network throughout the tissue, and they are of course smaller diameter. Function is to facilitate exchange of gases, nutrients, and waste produced between the blood and the surrounding tissue through diffusion. So I think I missed out. Actually, I did miss out. I just wrote oxygenated and stuff. This is the exchange of oxygen, carbon dioxide, and also nutrients, and the waste and everything. The thin walls allows for efficient exchange. Okay, so difference is given over here. Then okay, all of this you guys can, we'll be learning it in the next video. Yeah.